Look at this. Massive layoffs at Twitter, women most affected. Now, when you actually read what happened, due to the fact that Twitter was losing around $4 million per day, layoffs needed to happen. And 3,700 employees were fired, out of which 57% were women and 47% were men. Now, obviously, when you fire people, you're not going to end up with a clear 50-50 cut. And even if you were to, let's say, like, target people based on genitalia, like, okay, it doesn't matter that this person is really skilled and they're essential to the company. We have to meet the genitalia quota, so we're going to fire them. Even if you were to do that, then someone else could charge you for racism. Because they will say, well, you didn't fire 50% white people and 50% black people, so, like, clearly that is racismus. Like, the standard is absolutely ridiculous. And it's also unobtainable. However, what this lawsuit is about is not about discrimination. Because as you're reading, you're going to see that the other reason that the women are suing is due to the fact that their contract wasn't respected. Apparently, when they were supposed to get fired, they were also supposed to get additional benefits, which Elon Musk didn't give them. And if they have merit in the lawsuit, it's probably going to be because of that. But the mainstream media is going with the fact that, oh, Elon is a sexist. Because if you read the title, it seems that, oh, well, Elon was targeting women. Which, apparently, he wasn't. Unless they can prove that he was, like, you know, specifically a misogynist. And, like, this woman was really good at what she was doing. But, like, Elon just can't handle women. And we're like, no, you need to get her fired. Now, and this is the level of bullshit you can expect from Hell Francisco. So the question is, like, why doesn't Elon at least move the HQ to Texas? So that in the future he doesn't have to put up with this nonsense. And the answer is that he doesn't want people to view that Twitter is 100% a right-wing platform. He says that the move would be viewed as a symbolic departure and it would be considered that now Twitter is the right-wing platform. I mean, it's his opinion, whatever. You know, I would say that he should get the men that weren't fired to identify as women on paper, legally. Like, you can do this in California, yeah, right? Like, if you fit the legal requirements, you know, you don't have to do anything. You just, like, fit the legal requirements and get a government-issued ID that you're now a woman. What are they going to do? I mean, the Supreme Court of the United States nominee doesn't know what a woman is, so, like, it's really easy to confuse her. It's really easy to throw smoke in her eyes, right? So, like, that's what Elon Musk should have done if I was him. Apparently, it's going to be very interesting to see how the courts decide on the issue of sexismus. Because it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, if you're firing 3,700 people, you're not going to get a 50-50 cut, right? And if you do get a 50-50 cut, it means you have to discriminate. There's no other way. Like, either you're firing people based on their competence and based on what they had to do up until now, or it's just due to discrimination. So, if the courts are going to say, yeah, well, he did discriminate, it's going to explain why a lot of these companies are hiring an army of diversity officers to the point where it's becoming a multi-million, if not billion-dollar industry, just to sit around at a corporation, do nothing, and send one email per week. Or to, like, look at the genitalia of your employees, right? Because these companies are now afraid of these type of ridiculous lawsuits. So I'm going to follow this very carefully because I'm really interested to see how it's going to go. But unfortunately, it's probably going to end up with a settlement because most of these companies just don't want to waste the time, resources, and effort and have their PR damaged. So they will often try to settle, but the settlement does even more PR damage, in my opinion, because then the media is going to go, see, it's not because of the contracts that weren't respected. No, it's because of sexismus and misogynismus. So hopefully it's not going to enter that, but it's still an interesting research experiment to see how the lawsuit is going to go. And let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.